Hello, Star Wars fans! And this week, we have issue 27 of the Build Your Own Star Wars X-Wing. Yeah! Okay, so here we go. We have Building a Starship Fleet Star Wars Rebels and Starfighter Aces Ceci Tin. But unlike other issues, for some reason, it's not saying what we're actually doing in this. But I can tell you what we are doing in this issue is we're continuing with the engine, with the second engine. So, alright, and then just flipping through as usual, and this one... First page is entering Star Wars Rebels. Get a little schematic of cockpit there. And just gonna continue. And I'm not sure about the lighting here because I have my LED light right up over the top right here. And I turned off my other light, or one of the two lights I have up overhead. But I don't know, I think it's causing a little bit too much shadow, so I'm gonna just go ahead and turn that other light back on, and then turn the LED off. I usually only use that LED one for when I'm building my my models. So it probably is a little bit less bright, but at least my camera compensates for that. So there we go. Lower port engine. I will read that in a minute, and here we go. Here's the parts. Get some more detailed parts and the lens, and even wiring for the thruster. So just put that back there for now. Okay, lower port engine. This issue's components provide you all you need to finish the rear part of the second of the X-Wing's 4 Sublight engines, as well as the external casing and rear thrust nozzle. You have an LED and optical parts to make the engine's internal lighting effect. Cool. Alright. Finishing the casing. As in stage 26, the outside of the engine casing is covered with small plankton details, which you need to fit the positions shown below before installing the internal components. And they, once again, for this portion of this, they do provide the guide. So, okay. Assembling the engine. That will be 23 steps, and I might be able to cut this down a little bit because this is something we've done before, and I might skip the here, line this up, and you know, push this step, you know, whatever. I probably could have done that with some of the last issues where all we were doing was like internal wing details and whatnot, which are exactly the same as far as the details go. So probably could have done that. I chose not to. You know, just because I have a lot of fun building this so far and actually putting this video out to you guys, so. Alright. Okay, did I actually read this first step? I don't know if I did. Assembling the engine. You can now assemble the LED system that makes the engine glow and put together all the internals from stages 25 and 26. Alright. Step 1. Take the sub-assemblies, which is pretty much everything from 25 and 26, right there, together with all the parts provided this time, which is everything you see here, including in the blister pack right there. Okay, so we need to open the clear lens, which I will do right now. So we got that. That. Okay, and step 2 is simply taking this, which there's supposed to be 4 pins on that, and we can clearly see that one of them has broken off. Nice. Okay. So basically we are going to hold this just like this, with that little notch on the bottom and this portion up at the top, and we are just going to put this into here. Okay, and this is okay. Oh, this way around. Same up and down, it's just I was pushing it through the wrong side. So just make sure, because the opening on one side of the lens is a little bit wider, so you can actually get the pins in, and the other side of the holes are a little bit smaller just so the pins stay in. So there we go. So steps 2 and 3 is basically just doing that. Step 4 is align the assembly with the thrust nozzle, matching up the notch in the lens with the internal rib in the nozzle. Okay, so yeah, you got this right here. And then you got that right there, which is the little notch I was telling you guys about. And even the first time I did this, it was a little bit difficult, because you gotta basically use your fingers on both sides to make sure that this actually goes in as far as you need it to go in. So, and it should actually go in further than that. And for some reason, it's not. Yeah, there we go. Alright. There we go. It's in all the way now. Okay. So there we go. And that actually covers steps 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so step 7 is to take the LED. Alright, I'm just going to align this and see if I can straighten this out as much as I can straighten this out, just to make it easier for me. Alright. Alright, there we go. And which that's step 7 right there. Step 8 is to put this into this piece right here, which this is the reflector, kind of like a headlight. So, and step 9 is just make sure it's pushed in all the way and it actually comes through the other side of the hole. And step 10 is push the lead over, and you're going to push it down on the side that is away from this notch. So you're going to bend this right there at the connector, basically just like that. So you have that. Alright. And the next steps are going to be feeding the wire for the LED through the engine casing. So we're going to take this, and it's this side right here, and we push that through here, making sure that we get everything to go through, and then we put it through this spot right here. Okay. Alright, there we go. And so far that's covering steps 11 and 12. And 13. And 14 is feed the wire through the reflector in this position. So it's saying make sure that it's like this. So, and then step 15 is feed the wire through this hole right here. And then we have to put this onto here. Making sure nothing gets in the way. Which you have to make sure that you don't pinch the wire on that pin right there. So, but it's kind of a close call. So, as long as you can still pull the wiring through, everything's all good. Okay, there we go. Okay, and that covers up to step 17 doing this. Step 18 is fit the curved end of the reflector into this slot in the casing with the arrowed notch at the top. Okay, so just gonna pull a little bit more of the slack through, in which, there we go. And we're just going to slide it down here. Oop. Come on. Oh, it's actually where it's actually hitting this. Yeah, so this part right here is actually hitting on the back side of that plastic right there. Okay, and I'm just gonna pull a little bit more of the wire through. Okay. And hopefully this is just like the first engine, where the wire and the bulb are perfectly fine, because I don't want to have to get a replacement bulb for this. Okay. Alright, so the next steps are to put these together. Alright, so we line all this stuff up. And there we go. Okay. And we're, oh, okay, well that one piece that I need is in here. Okay, so I'm just going to dump out all those detail parts. And making sure nothing's static long. Nope. Okay. And we're going to take this right here, and we are going to just put it on this end. It doesn't matter which way you put this on. And then just push it into place. Which, here. Alright, just like that. So it's nice and flush right there, like that. Okay. And then you want to take this right here, and this notch in here is just going to line up over the top of this, and you're just going to push this down all the way. Just like that. Okay. Okay. You know, weird thing. Okay, so, this time around, it's not actually putting steps in for the other half of the details. So, we are just going to go ahead and we are going to do that before we do any of the battery testing. So we are going to test the battery just to make sure this lines up. Okay, so it's going to go right here. And it's pretty much going to be a mirror image on the other side. So, or I should say from the other side. Did I say that? I don't remember if I actually said it that way or not, but come on, get in there. I got it in the first time and then it came right out. Okay, there we go. And there we go. Okay, so that's the first one right there. Okay, and then we got the 4-pin, which that's going to go right up at the top here. Okay, and then we'll do the 3-pin, which that's going to go right down here in this set of holes. Come on, come on, come on, there we go. Just like that. Alright, which one do we have next? This one right here. This goes right here. Come on, come on. There we go. You know, some of these. What? This is where it's supposed to go right here. Maybe they made the piping on this a little bit too long. So, I mean, you can see right there that there is a tiny little bit of flash molding on here. If it were to focus. So there's just a bit of flash molding right there. So I'm just gonna cut off that little bit of flash mold. Like that. Because, I mean, hopefully it's just not the fact that that pin is supposed to be the same length as that pin. Hopefully that's not the case, because I don't want to have to cut that much off of there. which I might, because if you notice, it doesn't want to go in all the way. So I'm just going to cut a little bit more up off the top of that. See, and I go through these issues so that way you guys do not have to. Hopefully, you guys don't have the same issues as I do. Alright. Alright, here we go. So, yep, just cut a little bit more up off of that. So now this time it should actually go in all the way. Alright. There we go. It actually went in nice. It is holding in place kind of firm. And I might or might not find out later if I will have to end up gluing that in place. But obviously the pin was just too long to fit in there the way it needed to fit in there. Alright, and then this one goes right here. Okay, and yeah, see, look at that. Even that one is having a little bit of issue right there too. Honestly, I think maybe they just made the pins too long in those spots, probably because of the stuff that's up underneath it. And if you notice, see this one, I will not have to take as much off, because even that one is a little bit longer than the one underneath it. Now, did not have these issues with the first side of this particular engine, or either side of the first engine. So alright, and now that is sitting perfect. Right like that. Okay, so depending on where you're watching this, I cut maybe just was like maybe like a 1/16 of an inch off of this top one. Which, you know, that would probably be, I don't know, like maybe like a millimeter, maybe 1.5 millimeters. I don't really know the conversion on that. And then this side was pretty, not that much. It was literally just a fraction. I couldn't even tell you what the fraction was on that. It was just so small. But yeah, even that one, if you were to think about millimeter, maybe like a 0.5 millimeter on that side right there. So alright, and then we're down to the last two details right here. So this one goes into these two pins there, and then we have this one, which will be going in these last ones. Alright, just like that, and now we have the mirror image from the other side. Okay. Okay, well, it seems to be holding. You can see it's kind of bent right there. Like it's not lining up with all the pipe work, but it works. It really, really works. Okay. And now we will be testing this, and hopefully it will work. Which hopefully it, you know, pushing against that piece of plastic in there wasn't in the wrong spot. Oh, there we go. I guess we have our proof right there. And there we go. We have another bright red freaking Sublight engine all lit up, which is sweet. Okay. Or awesome, or cool, or whatever word you guys use. So there we go. Alright. Oh, and just on this last page inside here, it every so often repeats the same thing. And here we have one for thrust nozzles. The X-Wing's 4 Sublight engines generated highly energized particles that were hurled from the rear of the ship. Producing thrust in the process, the thrust nozzles serve to contain the heat produced in the process and to direct the drive. And then that's what it says right there, and then it just gives you the a picture of the back side of an X-Wing with its 4 Sublights lit. So there we go, and keep knocking the camera. And here we go with the artwork on the back of this issue. So, until the next build your own Star Wars X-Wing, or until the next build your own R2-D2, thanks for watching.